Nom Nom delivers fresh food with whole ingredients backed by veterinarian science. Science tells us that a dog's health starts in the bowl, so improving their diet is one of the best ways to help them live a long and happy life. Nom Nom's food is full of proteins your dog loves and the vitamins and nutrients they need to thrive. All you have to do is order, pour, and serve. Ready to make the switch to fresh? Order Nom Nom today. Go to https://trynom.com/curveball and get 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's https://trynom.com/curveball. Plus, Nom Nom comes with a money-back guarantee. If your dog's tail isn't wagging within 30 days, Nom Nom will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Nom Nom. Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by author, transformational coach, and motivational speaker, Christopher Terzakos. Christopher specializes in helping people transform with confidence, helping them explore their potential, and live life in abundance. Chris has done a lot of high-profile things, so we're going to be talking to him about all that today. So, Christopher, thank you so much for joining me today.
Okay, thank you for having me, Curtis.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Christopher Terzakos. I'm 63. I'll be 64 in the next couple of months. Throughout my life, I was always ambitious about working out, training, staying healthy, staying in good shape, eating right. I came close to playing Major League Baseball for the Cincinnati Reds. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Other than that, I'm here to teach people. I always played roles in leadership my whole life. I started from the very bottom. I was 17 years old. I worked for a company for 20 years. I became the senior manager for the corporation. So I was always mentoring people, teaching people, whatever they needed. I was always there for them to motivate them.
Yeah, you worked in the business world helping unions also, so tell the listeners about that.
Okay, so I belong to a union. It was the Carpenters Union, located in New York City. I was affiliated with all the other unions. I became a leader in the union. I joined forces to motivate people to become union so they can have medical coverage. They can have a pension, because back then a lot of companies were paying people like $12 an hour. You can't even pay your rent or your mortgage. They had no benefits. Once they got old, they got fired from the company. So being union was powerful, strong. Especially at that time, back in the 80s and the 90s, unions were very united back then, and people were very happy to make a decent salary. I was also working for a corporation at the time, so I had both going. So I was able to help people in both aspects of the business.
Well, talk about how unions have changed since back then up to now.
Oh, they changed dramatically. The unions today are ran by the United States government. Back in my time, unions been ran by most of us neighborhood guys, whether we're from Brooklyn, whether you're from New York, the Bronx. We would help friends. A friend would come to you and say, "Hey, can you put my nephew in the union?" There was no problem. You think he could become a journeyman? Sure, no problem. So it was a lot different. There was more like friendship, helping friends. Today, it's more corporate. Unions, there's a lot of rules today with the unions. Like I said, the government took over. And since the government took over, there's a lot of protocols that they have to do, a lot of testing now they have to do more than what we did. So yeah, that's how they changed dramatically.
Okay, well, you have worked on a lot of high-profile projects, such as building airport terminals, as well as the largest casino in the United States. So tell us about that and how you got to work on those projects.
Well, like I said, I'm working for my company. Uh, they they position you where they want you or where where actually need you. Where see, I had a very smart boss. He would um he would know your personality and the personality of the client. And he was he's such a good leader, by the way. He's also my best friend today. So he was always good at putting people together that were on the same level as far as characters, your personality. So there was a time he needed me at the airport, which I spent, I think, 6 or 7 years at the airport. And the big job, the casino job, that was located in Connecticut. And he came to me one day and he said, pack your bags. You're going, I lived in New York. Pack your bags. You're going from New York and you're going to go up to Connecticut. And you're going to run this job for me up in Connecticut. So he told me about it. It's for the American Indians, the tribe, the Mashantucket tribe, they call it. And we were one of the contractors to help build Foxwood Casino.
Okay, well, tell the listeners about your book. Tell us what we can expect to read it and what made you wanted to write it and how we can
Okay.
get it.
Okay, great. Okay, so I wrote 3 books. The third book is going to be published, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. But I did write a book on how I naturally increase my testosterone with 7 simple and powerful methods. So what happened in my life, like I said, I have the insides of a 20-year-old, according to all my blood exams. My outer body, I look like a 30-year-old, and I'm going to be 64. So what happened was, I think I was 52 years old, and I decided to take some PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. I just wanted to step up my game. In your 50s, you start to slow down a little bit, and I felt like I was starting to slow down, so I wanted to rejuvenate myself. So PEDs was what what I had in mind to do, and which I did do without a doctor's consent. So they call it a cycle, an 8-week cycle. So when I was 52, I would do like 2 cycles a year. So you would be taking testosterone and a couple other performance enhancing drugs. So I did it for about a good 6, 7 years, PEDs. And when I decided to get off of it, my testosterone reproduction system, it shut down because that's what normally happens when you take PEDs. All your natural productions, they all shut down. So now I needed to find how am I going to get this to reproduce itself. So I got blood tests done back in 2021. After my blood test, my testosterone level came back at 81. Just so you people understand, 81 is terrible. 81, you're a prime candidate for TRT. TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. So if anyone has 81, I'm sure that's what the first thing that's going to come to your mind, that you're a candidate for TRT. So after all my research on TRT, I decided, after talking to my wife, obviously, I decided that there's too many repercussions in taking TRT. One of them is a stroke, heart attack, increases the red blood cells. Your blood thickens, so that means every 3 months you would have to donate a pint of blood so you can get thinner blood into your system. It does affect your prostate and enlarges your prostate. So I said, this is not for me. Conventional medicine, going to doctors twice a month. And by the way, TRTs for the rest of your life. So once you get on it, and if you say you want to get off of it, you know, I would say good luck to you. But if you go on TRT, I would say stay on it. If those of you who really need TRT, I support it because everybody needs testosterone. Every man, including women, not as much. I think women need 11% of testosterone. But, they have to worry about their estrogen levels. But for a man, if you're lower than, let's see, if you're lower than 300, you're a candidate for TRT. Or you could buy my book, How I Naturally Increase My Testosterone, and follow my program. Did my program work for me? Yes. Would it work for you? It could work for you. It might not work for you. But I'm the GOAT. I did all the testing myself. I did all kinds of experiments with myself. So whatever works for me, which I'll get to in a second, in my book, if you follow my program, there's all kinds of ways to eat, supplements. I could tell you, I'll give out, one of the methods. If you stay in the sunlight, at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, there's nothing more powerful than natural sunlight. Sunlight has the energy to rejuvenate a lot of illnesses that you have. One of them is to reproduce testosterone. The sun is fantastic. It's number one on the list. Number two would be sleep. So sleep is very important because sleep will reduce the cortisol. The cortisol is a hormone. Okay, the cortisol is it starts from stress. So from stress, it becomes cortisol. What cortisol does is it blocks the reproduction of testosterone. So now you're not producing testosterone because you have too much stress, too much cortisol. So getting back to the sunlight, natural vitamin D is so essential for every man. If you have a dog, I would walk my dog twice a day or 3 times a day, stay in the sunlight, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, let the sun hit you. Let those rays get in your body. Vitamin D is important for a lot of things. Okay. So, same thing with estrogen. The vitamin D, it'll decrease the estrogen in your body. Estrogen is also a testosterone blocker. Now, estrogen will be triggered by sugar. So if you're consuming too much sugar, your insulin levels go up, your estrogen levels go up, and what happens? You just block your production of testosterone. So anybody that is on sugar, I would recommend dump a bag of sugar from your house. If you're listening to me now, go to your cabinet, dump the sugar. Sugar is probably the worst thing for you. And for a lot of reasons, besides testosterone reproduction, it gives you, heart attack, high blood pressure. It's just not good for you. It decays your teeth. So if you're on sugar, I would recommend to get off sugar. In my book, I have the full program. If you follow my program, okay, I tell you all kinds of foods to eat. Curtis, if you'd like me to get into certain foods, I'll discuss it. Just let me know.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Curtis. All right, so on food, number one, I mentioned sugar. Number two would be trans fat. If you're going to McDonald's, you're going to Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell's probably the worst. Trans fat, very unhealthy for you. I can't even tell you the last time I ever went in any of these places. I'm going to be 64 in October. I'm going to say probably when I was maybe 25 years old, 23 years old. But I would never go into these places. I would never eat their food. I watched a segment on how they make chicken McNuggets. If anybody saw how they make chicken McNuggets, you would never eat chicken McNuggets ever again. It's all chicken scraps. I know you people dip it in that hot sauce or barbecue sauce. They say, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. It's not amazing when you're going to be in surgery later on in life and you're going to ask a surgeon, why am I here? Because the surgeon is going to tell you, because you didn't eat real food. Now, what's real food? Real food is wild caught salmon. You can eat all the eggs you want. Don't go by that myth, oh, eggs give you high cholesterol. Eat all the eggs that you want. Vegetables, asparagus, grass-fed meat. And remember, grass-fed meat, not meat that has antibiotics in it. You don't want to eat that meat. That'll trigger something else in your body. So grass-fed meat is the healthiest meat to eat. Okay. Oysters, number one on the list, high in zinc. And that's what us men need. We need zinc. Zinc will produce testosterone, like unimaginable. You can't believe how much it does. I eat oysters every Friday. I have like a routine that I do. Every single Friday, I go order 2 dozen or a dozen and a half of oysters. I make sure I get that zinc in my body. So, yeah. So omega-3, anything wild caught salmon, any kind of nuts, macadamia nuts, Brazilian nuts, pumpkin seeds, pistachios, great for your body. You want energy? I eat raw ginger every morning. Raw ginger is so important for you. And I'll tell you why. Raw ginger, by the way, it's organic. If you can't afford organic, it's okay too. But I really recommend spend a little extra money and get organic ginger. Uh, Ginger will open up your blood vessels. Ginger will produce natural nitric oxide. Natural nitric oxide is a constant blood flow through for the man body. So if you're taking ginger every day, it's also good for dopamines, serotonin. You'll find out like about an hour later after you ate ginger, you'll be like, wow, I'm in a good mood. I feel good. Yeah, because the ginger is working. Now, if you start the ginger, you won't see any changes for about 8 days. On the eighth or the ninth day, and if you stay on the regimen, then you start to see the changes. Once it's in your system and it's working through your system, it also will cleanse the liver, it'll cleanse the kidneys, and it'll cleanse the blood. So now you got a good flow going. You got clean liver, clean kidneys, good blood flow, and clean blood.
Okay. Well, thanks for that information. And listeners, take Chris up on his offer and see how it works for you. Do you have
Okay,
any
good.
do you have any current or upcoming projects that you're working on that people need to know about?
Uh, Not necessarily. I'm semi-retired. I'm here to help the young people. I do know that I believe it's I believe the percentage of the young kids today, they're all going on PEDs. High school kids, I think it's up to like 11% or 15% of the high school kids. They're all taking PEDs because they're playing high school football, high school baseball, lacrosse. They want to get stronger, they want to get bigger. You know, um, but later on in life, they don't know what they're going to run into later on. They're going to run into this situation that I'm talking about today. So I like talking to the young kids. I also like talking to adults my age, even older. Illness is a choice. In some cases, it's not. I get it. You have genetics, whether cancer runs in your family or maybe heart attacks, high blood pressure runs in your family. I understand that part. But to be to be ill is what you're putting in your body. Food will make you sick. Food will make you ill. I watched my father, God rest his soul, he's not here today, but I watched my father suffer. I never seen a man put so much salt on his food. I never seen a man eat so much like uh, meat loaded with antibiotics. He was in open heart surgery. My father had he had no kidneys. He was on dialysis for many years. You know why? Because he didn't listen. I tried to talk to him about certain foods. You know, don't eat this. Try not to do that. Get off the. Oh, never seen a man eat so much French fries in my life. And look what happened. So, you know, with lessons like that, you know, I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to teach you. You know, when you grow old, you have a choice. You could grow old gracefully, or you could grow old grumpy and old. My choice is grow old gracefully. I want to be a good husband, good father. You want to be a good neighbor. You know, sometimes you say hello to your neighbor. Your neighbor's like a grumpy old man. So, you know, I get it. I understand the hormones. I know how the hormones work. Hormones are very important. You know, you drive in the car, people, you know, they yell at you, they curse at you while you're driving. I get it. They're in a rush. The hormones are kicking, whatever it is. So, you know, I get it. I want to talk about, Curtis, if you don't mind, I want to talk about alcohol drinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alcohol, yeah, alcohol, we all know what alcohol can do to you. Okay. But there's one thing that alcohol will do. It will block testosterone and will also harm your hormones. So, soft drinks, soda, you know, you go to the store, you say, oh, no, I want to drink orange juice. You buy Tropicana orange juice or Minute Maid orange juice. Guess what? That's not going to help you. Do you know why? It's loaded with sugar. Now, if you're home and you got fresh squeezed oranges, now I would embrace you because now you're doing it right. You're squeezing your own oranges. There's no added sugar to it. It's got its own sugar. Yes, oranges do got their own sugar, but it's not going to hurt you like a store-bought sugar. Orange juice, I'm sorry. So Gatorades, I mentioned soda, number one on the list. If you got soda in your refrigerator, please dump it. And if you think that you're drinking diet soda and you go, no, I'm drinking diet soda. Yeah, diet soda is worse than regular. I would tell you, go back on regular soda. Get off the diet soda. So, yeah, if I can educate you in this way, talk to you, I have a platform. It's called fitforjoy.org/self-healing with Chris. Let me repeat it again. It's called fitforjoy.org/self-healing with Chris. Now, you'll see on my platform, everything's spelled out for you. If you need me to coach you, you can contact me. I'll coach you. You have any questions, you want to have a lesson with me, I'll go over the whole thing with you if you're listening to this and you really want to change your life, want to become a better person. You know, if you're an older man like myself and you find that you have no energy or if you're fatigued, if you're moody, get a hold of me or buy my book. I promise I will help you in any way I could.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my next question to ask Chris about his website that he just threw out. So you guys go to that website, follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible who wants to change their life and get some great coaching from Chris. If you have any guests or suggestion topics, cjackson102@cox.net is the place to send them. As usual, thank you for listening. And Chris, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise.
I appreciate it, Curtis. Thank you too, and have a great holiday.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.